Hari Om. One very small composition, but very deep and meaningful composition of Param Poojya Guruji, Swami Tejomayananda ji's Bodha Saara. On that we will think little bit. ॐ समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं. Hari Om. The name of the composition is Bodha Saara. Bodha Saara is essence of teachings, essence of preachings, essence of knowledge. Bodha Saara. Bodha is actually Buddha to wake up. So it can be said as essence of awakening, enlightenment. So it goes like this. एकमेवाद्वितीयं हि ब्रह्मा एकमेवाद्वितीयं हि ब्रह्मा निर्गुणं निश्चलं निर्विकारं निर्गुणं निश्चलं निर्विकारम् अत्र वेदान्तमेव प्रमाणम् अत्र वेदान्तमेव प्रमाणम् बोधकसद्गुरुस्तत्त्वनिष्ठः बोधकसद्गुरुस्तत्त्वनिष्ठः ईश्वरानुगृहीतेन वेद्यम् ईश्वरानुगृहीतेन वेद्यम् एकमेवाद्वितीयं हि ब्रह्मा एकमेवाद्वितीयं हि ब्रह्मा ज्ञानगम्यं तुरीयं हृदिस्थं ज्ञानगम्यं तुरीयं हृदिस्थम् आत्मरूपं हि तद्येन ज्ञातम् आत्मरूपं हि तद्येन ज्ञातम् सोऽध्वनः पारमाप्नोति सत्यम् सोऽध्वनः पारमाप्नोति सत्यम् एकमेवाद्वितीयं हि ब्रह्मा एकमेवाद्वितीयं हि ब्रह्मा ब्रह्मज्ञस्य तु ब्रह्मैव सर्वं ब्रह्मज्ञस्य तु ब्रह्मैव सर्वं नास्ति मोहो भवं नैव दुःखं नास्ति मोहो भयं नैव दुःखं नास्ति मोहो भयं नैव दुःखं तस्य स्वानन्दमग्नं हि चित्तं तस्य स्वानन्दमग्नं हि चित्तम् एकमेवाद्वितीयं हि ब्रह्मा एकमेवाद्वितीयं हि ब्रह्मा निर्गुणं निश्चलं निर्विकारं निर्गुणं निश्चलं निर्विकारम् एकमेवाद्वितीयं हि ब्रह्मा एकमेवाद्वितीयं हि ब्रह्मा एकमेवाद्वितीयं हि ब्रह्मा. Guruji has composed this very well good composition and he says Ekam eva advitiyam Brahma. Ekam. Actually, this is from one mantra, very famous mantra, Ekam eva advitiyam. In Chandogya Upanishad, this mantra, this phrase comes, Ekam eva advitiyam. So, Ekam is one, Eva means definitely, that alone, and the advitiyam means not two. So no duality, No two-ness is there, only oneness is there. So ekam, when we say ekam means one, so immediately we remember the number one. And this number one is such that it has gone in all other numbers. In 2, 1 is there. In 3, 1 is there. In 10, 1 is there. In 100, 1 is there. Lakhs, crores, whatever you take. So all natural numbers, it has gone 1. So eti gacchati sarvatra. That is its root, how this word is formed. Means 1 is that number which has gone in all other numbers, which is ever all pervading. It has gone everywhere. It is ever present everywhere. So that is 1. That is ekam. And eva means definitely that alone. It is definitely not 2, 3, 4, 2.5, etc. And advitiya means not 2. When 2 is not there, 3, 4, 5, 6 means whatever other number is not there. So triad also not there, duality also not there, means manyness is not there. Nehana nasti kinchana. So this variety, though we see, that is not there, that is not real. Reality, one truth is there. Ekam eva advitiyam. He, again determination. He is given for he is the nipat for determination. It is just a particle given for determination. And Brahma. Brahma is that Brihat Vastu, that biggest substratum, that highest state from which this has come. This all world has come. And this world stays in that and it goes into that only. So this Brahma. Nirgunam, Nishchalam, Nirvikaram. It is beyond any attributes, it is attributeless. Nishchalam, it is still and steady, non-moving, permanent, unchangeable. Nirvikaram, it doesn't undergo any modifications. And what is this Brahma? So that will come in second stanza. That is your real nature, that is yourself, that is your innermost self. So ekam eva advitiyam hi Brahma. Now when this Brahma we say that Brahma is the greatest one, the supreme one. So how we have to understand that? So it is Brihatvat Brahma when we say that it is big one. So the bigness of that Brahman is not limited with its measurements, with its area, length or height or width, etc. So that is limitless bigness. That bigness is limitless. Like small book, big book, small pen, big pen. So in that way, it is not limited, because that, suppose Maharashtra, Bruhan Maharashtra, they say. Mumbai, Bruhan Mumbai. So the all outskirts of that city are included in that. Outskirts of Maharashtra is included in that. So, but still that is limited to its area. So up till on east, this area is up till this city. On west, up till this city. Beyond that, another city or another state is there. So in that way, it is not limited at all. And secondly, Bharanatvat Brahma also they say. Bharanatvat means he holds everything, he builds everything, and he provides for the existence of all. We see that birds and ants and insects and people and animal, so everything has something there for food. They do their living on that. So God has prepared this world. He has prepared this feeling of hunger also, that all functions inside the body, and he has given means to fulfill that, to satiate that hunger also. So the Bharanatvat Brahma, and as is said in Taittiriya Upanishad, Yato va imani bhutani jayante yena jatani jivanti yat prayantya visam vishanti iti tad Brahma. Brahman is that state from which or on which we feel the appearance of this world, which sustains that, and in which at the end, when we get knowledge, that ends there, that merges there. And one by one, that Bhrigu in disciple in that Taittiriya Upanishad, he tests that whether this food is Brahman, because from food everything comes, by food it is sustained, and in food at the end it merges. So is it food, that Brahma? So then he thinks further at the guidance of his father Varuna. He thinks further, then whether Mana, etc., etc., and then at the end Anandam Brahma. So in this way, Ekameva Dvitiyam hi Brahma. Many mantras in Upanishad are there which very beautifully give indicators for knowing this Brahman. If really we want to study this word Brahman, then all the Upanishads we can study for that, including Brahma Sutra also. So for us, for the time being, Brahman is that truth, that absolute reality, that substratum, which is the one infinite, eternal reality. Now here Nirgunam, next is Nirgunam. So without any attributes. Agunam, actually it is Agunam. Because not having attributes, that also can be a guna, Nirgunam. So whatever gunas that we see, maybe it is Sattva Rajatama. Like I said, it is given that with Sattva Guna, one becomes enjoyer. With Rajaguna, the act of enjoyment, and with Tamaguna, the thing enjoyed. And this principle is beyond all the gunas, so gunatita. So same way, with Sattva Guna, it becomes seer, Rajoguna, the act of seeing, and Tamoguna, the thing seen, and it itself is beyond all three, beyond all gunas. So that is Gunatita. So in this way, all the triads are made from this Sattva Rajatama, and itself it is Nirgunam. So sometimes people say that I do practice of meditation and my mind becomes calm and quiet, but it remains alert. But today that was not there. My mind was very agitated, very flickering, going here and there, and I could not concentrate today. So we have to understand that I am the one, Nirgunam, I am the one who is above these both states. This steadiness, concentration is also attribute of mind, and agitating state is also belong to this mind. And we are above this both. We are witnessing these two, and therefore our real self doesn't become agitated, or it doesn't do meditation. Meditation and agitation, both are not attributes for that self. It is beyond that all the gunas, Nirgunam. Sadgun and Durgun also. Sadgun, vices and virtues, he is below that, behind that. He is above that. In Dasabodha, Samartha Ramdas Swami also says, the biggest virtue is not to see virtues and vices, and the biggest vice is to see virtues and vices in others and to label them and to evaluate them, and accordingly do this likes and dislikes. So that is biggest vice, I say. So in this way, nirgunam, nishchalam. Nishchalam means steady, still, non-moving. Same. Why it is nischala? Because to move, what are the things required? To move, first thing required is this space where we will do movement. So space should be there. And in the case of this Brahman, the space is in Brahman. It is not in space. We can move our hand, we can move our eyes, or we can move our head because we are in the space. But this Brahman is such that space is in the Brahman. It is not in the space. So therefore, it don't have any space to move. It is fully up to brim, otaprota in this space. For example, when you are deep asleep, in deep sleep, there cannot be movement of this Brahman. When you get up, that first moment also awakening and you are abiding in yourself. But after that fraction of moment, we come to know about this space concept. So that is the concept of our intellect. And then we can do move and do all the things. So in this way, space is not there, therefore it is nishchalam. Second thing required for any movement is limb or body, with which you will do movement, with which some form should be there. Now this branch or leaves of the trees are moving, so they are not chala, they are moving. Though they are not leaving their space, but still due to wind or even vertically also they grow. So some form is there, some limb is there, therefore we can do movement. But here nishchalam, because no form is there, no body is there, it is ashariri. Ashariragam vasantam na priya priya sprushataha. Ashariri, it is bodiless. Why? Because it is Brahma, it is all pervading, it remains in all times also. If body is there, if form is there, then definitely it will have destruction, it will die, it will have to face death. Because whenever some limb is there, some body is there, some form is there, it will be destructed, it will perish in time. This Brahman is imperishable, it is very permanent and forever. Therefore, it doesn't have body, no limbs are there, so with which it will move. Therefore, it is nishchalam. And third thing, nirvikaram. Vikara is changing condition. Avasthantar, vikara. So first condition was there, first position was there, first status was there, first state was there, and then it changed. Now it has come to this state, this condition, this position. So this is vikar, it is nirvikaram. So it never changes its condition, state or that position. Same reasons we can just think on those lines only. Vikaram, nirvikaram. And why this is nirvikaram, we can think in this way also, that all other things are changing, all other things are going through all modifications. So who is the one that is watching? And all other things, whenever change happens, there is some changeless substratum on which changes happens. Suppose we are standing on the platform and train to Delhi, train to Mumbai, train to Calcutta, train to Bangalore, they comes and goes. We can see this movement, the trains are coming and going, only because we are steady and still on the platform. We don't sit in either train going to Delhi or Mumbai. If we go on that, then who will see the changes? Therefore, since we see all the changes happening inside out, this self, this consciousness, this awareness principle is changeless. Therefore, nirvikaram. It doesn't go any modification, any process doesn't happen there, and it never leave its original state. Now further we see Atra Vedantameva Pramanam. Here Vedanta is the valid means of knowledge. How you say all these things? Ekameva Dvitiyam hi Brahma, Nirgunam Nishchalam Nirvikaram. So Vedanta is the valid means of knowledge. Pramana means valid authority, authorized, authenticate means of knowledge. If you want to measure height, then tape or the scale is there, and in feet or meter etc. we will measure that. If you want to measure water in milk, then lactometer will be there. If you want to measure temperature, then barometer, thermometer, they are there. So in the same way, when we want to know about this Brahman, Vedanta is Pramana. That is the means that we should take. Brahman is such, since it is not having any form, any body, so it is beyond the scale, beyond the range of all our organs of perception. In this world, whatever things are there which have some length or width or some height or some texture, some color, some shape, some size, some smell or some sound or some taste, some touch, all these things are there, so that we can judge with our sense organs. And when it comes to feelings, suppose feeling of mercy, kindness, feeling of emotion of worry, emotion of fear, emotion of anger, emotion of love. These feelings we cannot see with our eyes, but that we can know by our mind. If some concepts are there, concept of gravity, concept of welfare, concept of praise and insult, so those are concepts of intellect that we can see with our intellect. But this Brahman is beyond that, and therefore neither these sense organs, neither mind nor intellect can judge it. Therefore it is called metaphysics, where intellect's range ends, from there this starts. Because it is the one that gives life to that intellect also to know. It is the one that inspires that mind to know, and it is the one that enlivens these senses to know all these things, sense objects. Therefore it is Vedanta is Pramana here. Very subtle, and we have to pay attention, and we have to make efforts to understand this. If one person is there and he has put their telescope, and then he is watching all the surrounding. Now suppose he thinks that let me watch myself. So to watch from telescope, he has to come at front, and when he comes at front, who will watch? Therefore, these all instruments are enlivened by that consciousness. Therefore, these instruments, this mind, intellect, and all ahankar, ego, and other things, they cannot know that enlivener, that principle which gives them consciousness. One more example they give to understand this. When darkness is there, with the help of torch, we see the things. But if we want to see the batteries of that torch, in the light of that torch, is it possible? Because it is those batteries that enable the torch to give light. Therefore, if we take those batteries out and put it in front of torch, then we cannot see that. In the same way, we cannot see with this our mind, etc., this Brahma. But Vedanta is Brahman, and therefore we have to submit to Vedanta, and we have to have full and complete faith, Shraddhasva, Saumya, Shraddhasva in that Vedanta. Then only we come to know. One more way we can try to understand this. What is the process of knowing anything? What is the process of cognition? When we cognize a thing, what process happens? Suppose one flower is there and I am seeing that flower and I know flower is there. So in this, what process happens? That through my eyes, my mind goes out and takes the form of that flower, and then that thought modification comes in me, and that gets illumined by the reflected light of this consciousness which is there in my mind and intellect. And then I cognize, yes, flower is there. Suppose I touch its petals and I find it very velvety, smooth. Microsoft Windows. They say Microsoft Windows. So Ati Mulayam Khidkya. Microsoft Windows. So in this way, suppose I touch that flower and I find it velvety, smooth and small, soft. In this, what process has happened? This mind, through my organ of action, that is hand, fingers, has went to that flower and it has taken form of that touch. And then that thought comes inside me, and that gets illuminated in the reflected light of consciousness, reflected in my mind and intellect. And then I cognize, yes, flower is soft, petals of flower is, touch of flower is soft and smooth and very velvety. So in the same way, this process happens. Now here, this Brahman is such a big thing that our mind cannot cover it. It cannot comprehend it. And therefore it cannot form its modification, thought modification, and that will come here inside and do this film. This reflected light, that is not needed, because that is first self-shining, self-effulgent, splendorous, means self-knowledgeable. It is completely knowledge principle only. So no need of illumining that in the reflected light. Also it is inside out. Where this process is happening, in that also it is there. And therefore, what is the means to know it? The means to know it is Vedanta. Veda Upanishad, which is the full ocean of knowledge. In that, the acme of that, the essence of that, this is Vedanta. Atra Vedanta mema pramanam. By the way, what is Vedanta? Many people say that I want to learn Vedanta, I want to study Vedanta. Then if you say, you are studying Gita, so that is Gita, I want to study Vedanta. So this Vedanta is self-knowledge. Vedanta is Vidya. Vedanta is Jnana, Brahma Jnana or Atma Vidya. And that Vedanta comes at generally at the end part of the Upanishads, maybe sometimes in between or middle also, in the beginning also. So that is the concluding knowledge of this Vedas, and therefore it is called Vedanta, the final conclusion, that the individual self and the Supreme Self is one. And that Vedanta, this knowledge is contained in these books. Kenopanishad, Ishavasya Upanishad, Kathopanishad, Chandogya Upanishad. So therefore that book is also called Upanishad. That book also called Vedanta books. So in this way, Atra Vedantameva Pramanam. And who will teach us this Vedanta? That is very mystic words. And if we ourselves try to understand that, there is every possibility that we will conclude to some other thing, that is ignorance only. So Bodhakas Sadgurus Tatvanishtaha. So our teacher, our revered teacher is the teacher of this Vedanta, and he has got fully established in this Vedanta. And who can know this? Not any Tom, Dick and Harry, not any layman on the street, but Ishvara Anugrahitena Vidyam. When you get the grace of God, when you drench yourself in the shower of grace of God, compassion of God, that you have acquired with your own spiritual practices, your own merits also, and acting and taking very, very much efforts on yourself to purify yourself. So then God's grace descends on that seeker, and then by him the Vedanta taught by Sadguru is understood. Very nice. Ishvara anugrahitena vedyam ekameva dvitiyami brahma. And this Ishvara anugraha, anukampa, Ishvara anugraha, that happens when small acts of merits or small acts of spiritual practices, small times when we exert in selfless service without any with guileless mind, without any wickedness, crookedness in our mind. Then at the end of so many lives, so many births, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate. Then this capacity or eligibility to know this comes, and then this happens, that we are initiated in this knowledge and we are introduced to this Vedanta. First thing, to get this body is very rare. You see the number of ants, number of mosquitoes, number of insects, number of bacteria, and number of all other animals, all other bodies. Compared to that, human body is very rare. Then in that, this desire to know, that is rare. And then finding conducive environment, meeting such Guru, that all the things become very rare. Therefore, Ishwar Anugrahi, Bhagavan, Lord's grace, and He only arranges then everything. And then we come to know this. Ekameva Dvitiya Hi Brahma. Further now, over this practice, etc. is over. And then what is the realization? What he comes to know at the end? Very nice. You see? Jnanagamyam turiyam hridhistham. Jnanagamyam. This is known by, this can be knowable. This is knowable. Jnanagamyam, Jneyam, Jnanagamyam. It is not that it is unknowable. We can know this because it is our own self. It is on our innermost self. Jnanagamyam. Turiyam. Turiyam means fourth. In Sanskrit, Chaturthi. So the cha is removed, so Turiyam. Jnanagamyam Turiyam. What is it? It is called fourth. And then Hridhistham. It is inside the heart. So it is called fourth because earlier three things are there, then it comes, therefore fourth. Though it is not compulsorily means that fourth means literal meaning is not there. This fourth thing has gone in and through these first three things also. What are those three things? So we, whatever our life is there, we go through three states of our being. One, we are awakened, Jagrat, Second, we may be dreaming, swapna. And third, we may be in deep sleep, that is swapnavastha, in dream. So, in throughout our life, you see, either we are dreaming, we are in deep sleep, or we are in the waking state. So, Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti are the three states in which mostly, ordinarily, everyone spends his life. Very rare few are there who come to this fourth state. Therefore, it is called Turiyam, fourth state. Well, what is that fourth state? That is absorption. It is Samadhi. When one practices meditation, when one first equips with all the knowledge about meditation, on whom to meditate, with what to meditate, how to meditate, what are the hurdles in it, how to overcome that, what are the effects of meditation, how I should know that I am meditating or I am sleeping. So first we should equip ourselves with all this knowledge, and then when practice, so then we come to that fourth state, that is called Samadhi or absorption. Just merging with ourselves and just leaving all the consciousness of the world, of the body, etc. Jnanagamyam Turiyam Hridistam. And this self, actually Turiyam is self only. This self is there in waking state also. Because who is waking? I am waking. This I is there. This self is there in dreaming also. Who is dreaming? I am dreaming. Or I dreamt. Not on that time we say, but after waking we say that I dreamt. So that I is there. And who is deep sleep? Who is in deep sleep? So when after waking I say, I had very nice deep sleep. Rejuvenating and refreshing. So in this way this I, this Turiya has gone through in these four earlier three states also. So it is not literal meaning that Samadhi Avastha or self is the last fourth one. But only for the purpose of explanation it is given. Compared to this waking, dream and deep sleep state, this is Samadhi because it is full of knowledge. There is full effulgent state of full knowledge. Not a stress of ignorance is there. Because in waking state how it happens? That we know the world, we know about ourselves, our body, etc. But whatever in causal body, that we don't know. Now for this we will have to explain these bodies also. We have got three bodies that way. One is this gross body that we see. One is the second is subtle body that we don't see with eyes but we feel. We decide. We understand, that is mind, intellect, etc. That is the second body. And third body is avyakta or unmanifest it is called, in which all our tendencies, all our inclinations are stored, and that about that we are unaware of, and from that slowly one tendency comes at the level of mind and intellect. That time if we are alarmed, cautious, then we can see the thought, desire or that modification coming in our mind and intellect. That time we become aware of that. But until it is this one in vasana, avyakta sharira or karana, that time we don't know it. In this way these three bodies. So in waking state also we are unaware of this, ignorant of this karana sharira or causal body. In dream, we don't know about this world also. We are in dream world. We don't know about this body also. We are seeing this world with dream body. And in deep sleep, neither this world nor inner world, dream world is there. So in all the three states, ignorance is there. But this fourth state is full of knowledge only. Jnanagamyam, Jnanamaya, Bodhamaya, it is the self. Samyak adhiyate mana yasmin sa samadhi. Samadhi actually is masculine gender in Sanskrit. So this mind where it is put very properly, very nicely. So that is self, is samadhi. That is the one meaning of Turiya. samadhi. Jnanagamyam, turiyam and rudhistam. Where I should go to meet this self? So it is very near to you, innermost to you. Even mind, intellect are also far away compared to that. It is you yourself. Everywhere you yourself is there. You yourself cannot be hidden, cannot be taken away, cannot be stolen, cannot be destroyed from you. You cannot forget. That is, I forgot my specs. But you cannot forget yourself. You are always there where you are there. And that is this Rudhistham. Jnanagamyam, Turiyam, Rudhistham. So it is me, myself. Aham, I, me. And therefore it is knowable. Further it is given Atma Rupam hi tadiyena jnatam. Like it is not to be known that yes, that Brahma. No, it is I, myself. Aham Brahmasmi. I am Atma Brahma. So not third party, third person. It is myself. Atma Rupam. As a self, we have to know it. Now see here, very carefully. When meditation was started, so meditator and meditated and meditation triad was there. And slowly meditator, while doing intense meditation, lost its entity and got merged in meditated. And naturally meditation also came to end and it also become only meditated. So dhyata becomes dheya and therefore dhyan also doesn't remain there. So in this way, to whom meditation? Not to something else, to me, myself, the real pure self, our real nature. That is only this Ekameva Dvitiyam hi Brahma. In this way, oneness of the Supreme Self and our individual self is done here. Atma Rupam hi tad yena jnatam. And one who knows this, not only speaking word meaning or only on the intellectual level, that is also okay for the beginning. But slowly we have to get abided in that, get established in that, with firmness and ever remembrance of that. Tadyena jnatam saha advanah param apnoti satyam. It is true that one who knows this goes beyond all. Then for him no ways remain. Which are the ways? Shreya and Preya. One is way, path of good, one is path of pleasure. And technically in our scriptures, two ways are given. One is moon and sun, or it is called Pitruya Marga, Deva Marga, Devayana. So when one does good work, then he goes through Pitru Marga, then he enjoys there and comes back again. One who meditates also, does good work, helps others and meditate also, gives charity and meditate also. So he acquires some knowledge. So then he goes through Surya Marga. But with both, they will have to come here and gain ultimate self-knowledge. Then only this coming and going, this travel, this journey will stop. And then we will be there only. Nishchalam, Nirkaram, that state we will come. So in this way, it is said, one who knows that Brahman as one's own innermost self, then he goes beyond all the states, all going and coming, and this journey is to be taken without ever lifting our feet, only in understanding, only in our conviction. This way, and for that faith, atra vedantameva pramanam, the faith is required. That yes, since scriptures are telling this, since all the saints and sages from all time period, from all centuries and from all places, they have experienced this and told this. Therefore, Definitely, I am not this individual self. I am that supreme self. I am not this body, mind, senses, vitalities, or ego. I am that self. And that same self is there in everybody. So I am that way in everything, and everything is in me. In this way, Ekameva Dvitiyam Hi Brahma. Now, this stage is also very good over. And now how he will live? Because he is still living. It is not that this knowledge happens and one collapses, dead. It is not that. While living, you enjoy this life. While living, you enjoy this liberation from all the bondage, from all the fear, from all the limitations, from all the sorrow. Then how his life is? So last stanza. Brahmadnasya tu brahmaiva sarvam. One who knows Brahma, one who knows this supreme reality, Brahmadnya, for him everything is Brahman. Because that is the knowledge that I alone and only one, Ekameva Dvitiyam, one alone and not second, one alone without second. Brahmadnasya tu brahmaiva sarvam. Therefore everything, each and every feeling, each and every incidence, each and every happening, everything becomes that Brahman, including he himself, his body, sorrow, desire, everything becomes that only. And by in this meaning, in Gita also it is said, Apuryamana machala pratishtham samudramapa pravishanti yadvat tadvat kamayam pravishanti sarve sa shanti mapnoti na kama kame. Desire of something. So there are two things, I the desirer, the desire and desired thing. So all this becomes this Brahma, and therefore what to desire? Therefore is described in our scriptures like akama, nishkama, purnakama, atmakama, aptakama. His desire of all other things, that becomes his own desire, because same Atma is there and he has got that I am where I am. So why to desire then I again for myself? When we reach Mumbai, suppose we want to go Mumbai, and when we reach Mumbai, then we again don't desire to go to Mumbai. And therefore in Taittiriya Upanishad also it is said, Sarvam apnoti. At a time, simultaneously, Yugapat, at a same time, his all desires are fulfilled. Not one by one, and for each desire we have to so much efforts, etc. Soshnute sarvan kamaan saha satyam jnanam anantam brahma. So that Brahma, when one knows Brahmadnyasa tu brahmaiva sarvam, then there is no need of fear, no need of there doesn't remain sorrow, there doesn't remain thing to be desired. Nasti moho bhayam naiva dukkham. What is samsara? What is this world? These three things are this world: delusion, fear, and sorrow. These three things are world. And when one knows this Brahman, this world is not there, so there is no fear, he becomes fearless. He becomes ever at very secured, safe, and feeling as delusion is also not there, because full knowledge is there. Sa sarvajna sarvavit, in detail, in particular and general knowledge is there. And dukkham, sorrow is not there. If you see one word, then actually that prompts us to think so many things about that. Now this moha is delusion that is caused by ignorance. When ignorance of the thing is there, we don't know that thing. And when we don't know that thing, we think that it is something different. Somebody asked, do you know this Ram Rao? Then that person said, Ram Rao, I don't know. But I think that is the one person who goes for morning walk every day, that is lawyer. So in this way, ignorance of something, we don't know that. And then we think that we wrongly think that it is this. So ignorance about our real nature is there, and therefore we think that I am this body, I am this mind, and then accordingly I feel hungry, I feel strong or weak, I feel thirsty or satiated, I feel happy or unhappy, I feel ignorant or intelligent. The modifications of this all other not self we identify with, because we think we are that. In this way, moha is not there. And now bhaya, what is fear? Bhaya is also not there. There are many types of phobias. Many reasons and causes of fear are there. But in our scriptures, our saints and seers and thinkers, they have classified these all fears in 3 titles. So these 3 titles are such that fear of death, fear of being inexistent, fear of being non-existent, fear of death, fear of dying. This is first. The second, fear of getting cheated, fear of getting deceived, cheated. Somebody will take disadvantage or misadvantage of my ignorance, and therefore he will loot me, he will rob me, he will cheat me. And then third one is fear of pain. I may fall ill, and then I will be bedridden, and then so many pain will be there. I will have to take pain killer, and then side effects of that are more dangerous and terrible than this pain. In this way, these 3 main fears are there. In this included all other, like fear of going in front of mob and speaking, so stage daring, fear of going on high altitude and then seeing down, fear of water, fear of loneliness, fear of darkness. So many fears are there, and that all comes to these 3: fear of death, fear of getting cheated, and fear of pain. And how that goes? Nasti moha means this fear is not, a fear doesn't remain there after knowing this Brahman. So how this happens? So they say this Brahman has a famous title, Sat Chit Ananda. So that is pure existence, objectless awareness, and infinite bliss. Sat Chit Ananda. These 3 things are there that remove this fear of 3 kinds. So first, existence. You are not this form, you are not this name. When name and form is there, they are definitely subject to death and change also, and destruction also. Since you are not name and form, so that pure existence without name and form, without any body, without any limbs, that always is. Because see, everything we feel in the form of is. That isness is my nature. That existence is me, not this name and form. When we leave our identity with this name and form as me, and when we hold on our identity with that nameless and formless existence, then we are immediately relieved from this fear of death, because that existence, isness doesn't go anytime. Like yesterday also we saw that one seed is there, the name and form goes, isness remains when it sprouts. The name and form of sprout goes, isness remains in the sapling. The name and form of sapling goes, isness remains in the form of tree. The name and form tree goes, but isness remains in the form of planks. And when those planks are turned into furniture, that new name and form it gets, but isness is the same. And if that is burned, isness remains in the form of ash, and that is there mixed in the earth. So isness remains in the form of earth. When at the deluge, at the last time, earth merges back in water, isness remains in the form of water. And water in the fire, fire in the air, air in the space, and space in that Supreme Self, and that ever is. Even without this world existed or deluge, after deluge it is not there, it has gone to seed form. Still that Self is there, and that I am. Life transforming is this analysis and this inquiry. So nasti moho. So this, in this way, first fear was which was that first fear of death. So that is gone when we leave our identification with name and form and find our real identity with that existence. Second is fear of cheating, getting cheated. That somebody will cheat me, somebody will loot me, rob me, and they will take disadvantage of my ignorance. I don't know, etc. When we come to know that such Chit Ananda, Chit is pure consciousness, pure awareness, knowledge principle, by which we come to know the knowledge of all the things in the world and also ignorance of some things in the world. Suppose I ask you, do you know French language? So some of you will say yes or no. So you yourself are aware of your knowledge of French and your ignorance of French. You know that you know French, and also you know that you don't know French. So this pure knowledge is this consciousness. And when we come to know that this Chaitanya is me, this Shuddha Jnana is me, then definitely there is no fear of getting looted, getting cheated. Why? Because now the same principle in the other party also who has come to loot. We find in the episodes of this sort in the lives of our saints and sages that one saint was there and another person came and he said, I will kill you. And this saint said, you cannot kill me, because the consciousness with which you will kill, that I am, and I will still remain in your form, even if you kill this body, even if you behead this body, this head. And another saint also, it is said that once he was just walking and one cynic person came and he hit him, and then this saint just lied there unconscious. By God's grace, some person was passing through that place who was knowing this saint. So he came running and he helped him and he took him to doctor, etc. Then they treated him and then he came and became conscious. Then afterwards, that person who was helping, he asked, please tell me the name and who was that who hit you? Who hit you? So that person said, that was saint, and he said, the one who hit me, the one who saved me is one. So the same consciousness which is doing harm, that same consciousness is doing help. So in this way there is no fear of getting cheated or looted, because all the awareness is one, Chaitanya is one. And then last is fear of which? Fear of pain. Now pain is what? Who knows pain and who has pain? So if you think in this line, it is said that pain is an anger of nervous tips. So when we feel something uneasy, some discomfort, then that is pain. And maybe pain, the spot is in the body, stool body means the gross body, but that is known by mind. So mind is the reporter. Now, whether that reporter is true, mind always keeps changing. So mind is a fictitious entity. It is not reliable. Because if you are engrossed in something, you don't feel pain. Now all these our patriots, they gone through so much pains and so much calamities and all this thing, but they didn't feel that because their focus of mind was on the independence of our country, their motherland. When we go to sleep, we don't feel pain. So there are many instances where that pain may be there in the body, but we don't know that because this mind is not working at that time in that way. Therefore, when we come to know that my nature is bliss, Sat Chit Ananda, I am objectless happiness, I am infinite happiness, I am unconditional happiness. Actually, this happiness is very nice analysis that Guruji has given in the introduction of Tattva Bodha. So when we come to know that my inherent nature is happiness, this sorrow is only acquired one, that is only temporary one, only incidental. So I myself give about the nature of happiness. That time this pain, this fear of pain, that I will fall ill and then I will have to go through very much pains, body pain, stomach ache, headache, and then many people will have to serve me, etc. That all doesn't remain there. That remains there only on the outer shields or outer layers. So nasti moho bhayam naiva dukkham. Now dukkham, this we saw about bhayam, 3 types of fears. Now dukkham is what? Dukkham, you will say sorrow, pain, that was there already. But if you see, look at this word dukkha. So du means dushtu, means polluted. And kha means sky, space. When this space is unpolluted by poisonous air, poisonous gases, etc. Also, this space is clean and clear. It is not covered by clouds, etc. Then so nice that blue, sky blue space is there. That we come to see in Badrinath, etc. In Himalayas, in Tapovan. Tapovan is the peak 4,500 meters above Gomukh, which is above Gangotri, which is above Uttarkashi, which is above Rishikesh and Haridwar. So in this way, dukkha means that unpolluted, literally, if you say du and kha means space. Like birds are say khaga because they fly in the space, they fly in the sky. Sun is also said khaga because he also goes in the space sky. So in this way, when space is polluted, it is dukkha. Now, what does that mean to us? It means that when the space of our mind, sky of our mind, is clean and clear and without any negative tendencies, any desires and feelings of anger and some incompleteness, complaints, etc., then that is clean mind. And why this mind is called as a kha here, space? Because you say thought comes, thought stays for some time or much time, longer, shorter or longer duration, whatever it is, and then it goes. So when this moment of thought happens, definitely there should be space, because any moment can happen in space only. Therefore our mind, it is called Chittakasha. This outer space is Bhutakasha, elemental space. This is mind, mental space, where thought comes, stays and goes. Unless an mental space is there, the moment of thoughts will not be there. It is not that thought only comes, it goes also. So in this way, when that mind is free from any grudge, any expectation, desire, any worry, any sorrow, any fear, these feelings and emotions and thoughts and decisions, etc. are not there. Then that clean and clear, crystal clear, that's because mind is actually made up of sattvic part of these 5 elements. This Triguna, Sattva, Raja, Tama is resulted into 5 elements, and these 5 elements also have these 3 because that is the cause, Sattva, Raja, Tama. And this mind, intellect, memory and ego, these 4 inner instruments are made up of totality of Sattvic Ansh. So therefore it is actually made of like gold. But in that golden pot, what we keep, that becomes our own construction. So if you keep worries and bad thoughts in it, evil thoughts, evil desires, some people say, what to do? Everything, every moment, every desire comes in my mind is either illegal or unethical. So in this way, if you entertain such thoughts, then that golden pot will be very bad odor will be there, and it will just lose its shining. But if you put all the noble thoughts, selfless thoughts, and the thoughts of welfare of all in that, and thoughts of knowledge and devotion to God, and the study of scriptures, that all we keep in this mind, then definitely that will shine more and more. So in this way, dukkha is that mind in which all the negative, sorrow-giving, painful thoughts are there. And when we come to know that Satchidananda, then this dukkha goes, because then no complex is there and we abide in that self. Anyway, this mind is instrument only, we have to leave that. Only for transactional purpose we can accept that, work on in this field, but we complete with complete knowledge that I am not this mind. This is just a modification of thought only. Tasya swananda magnam hi chittam. And in the self bliss, self ecstasy, self happiness, he remains engrossed. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, with little instigator to this meditation, Bhava Samadhi, he used to go in Bhava Samadhi, in absorption. Even if somebody utters Ram, Krishna, Hari, Govinda, Narayana, Vishnu, then that will also this enough stimuli for him to go in that Bhava Samadhi. And then he will remain there like a statue, like a wooden statue, without moving anything, because his mind has gone beyond all these things, beyond these worldly matters, and become merged with that fully blissful self. So in this way, tasya swananda magnam hi chittam ekameva dvitiyam hi brahma. About this happiness, much nice analysis is there, why and how we are of the nature of happiness. We will see that sometimes. Hari Om. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Hari Om.